outside. Pardon me. Now, start your loop. That. Then put the zip tie, or the dowel rod, through the zip tie and cinch it with it in the duct tape, or on the duct tape rather. So that gives it a grip. Trim off your excess. And here's your swing arm. Now, before you do this, make sure that all of your rubber bands are tight in with each other, all just barely overlapping each other. You don't want to see much space in between them. Think about like that. And then thread your swing arm through the middles of the rubber bands. You want to get just a little bit sticking out of the top, like this, and then bring it back. As you're doing this, watch your clearance here. You want, see, we need to work this down a little bit so this is much closer to the body of the catapult. So pull this out, and then work your rubber bands down little by little. Again, getting them about even with each other. Careful with the zip ties, they have sharp edges. And then again, thread it through. And this time, have a little bit less sticking out of the top. So you have to get this centered in the rubber bands, otherwise it won't shoot straight. Bring it back. That clearance is okay. And we have enough sticking out of the back. Now, if you want to, after you put the nails in here, you can take a craft knife and whittle out notches just below the nails. This will give your string something to catch on to. Take it up through the notch, over the end of the swing arm, through the other notch, and then around the nail. Hold the swing arm so that it's tight against the body. Hold the string and tie it onto the nail. This will act as your trigger. Tie that a couple of times so it doesn't come loose. Dang it. Sometimes it doesn't want to cooperate. And there you go. You have your trigger. Now take your 3.5-inch rod and 2 of the larger zip ties. Start the loop on one of your zip ties, like so. And then put the 3.5 rod through, and then over one of your posts like this. Cinch it on there, and then start the other one the same way. And then repeat with it going at the opposite angle of the first one. I'll show you here in just a sec. So you want the tails facing away from each other. If you do it in the same direction, it won't give you as tight a hold, and it'll kind of move when you shoot it. Trim off your excess. Like so. And move it up a little bit. And right here you have your basic catapult. Now there are a couple other features you're going to want to add, like a pull string for your trigger. Take about 3 inches of your string or twine and then loop it or double it like this. And you want to get that in the middle of it so it'll pull straight off. Otherwise, it'll pull off at an angle and your swing arm won't come straight up. Now, you have your trigger, like this. Now, there's one more little accessory you need to add. Take another narrow strip of duct tape and wrap it in the middle of your brake arm, about where the swing arm is going to come up and hit. This acts as a cushion that will slightly reduce the wear on the two pieces of wood. It doesn't look like much, but there's a lot of energy in these rubber bands, and eventually, over time, firing it will eventually break down the wood and they could snap. Now, test fire it a couple of times with nothing in your basket. Dang it. Sorry. Like this. And see where it hits on the brake arm. And then you can adjust it. If it hits off center, you can adjust the swing arm rather, by moving the rubber bands around until it hits where you need it to. Try this again. And that's about all. And there is your basic desktop catapult. There are a couple care things. Every now and then, take petroleum jelly and rub the bands down with it. This will keep the bands from drying out and breaking. If you let them dry out, they break down and they snap, especially get it around the knots, because there's a lot of strain on those. And just keep it lubed up and enjoy and be careful.
Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next time.